Hey YouTube, Freedom for Kaz here. Hey everyone, I'm going to be continuing updating you on the Michigan oil spill, which is in a critical stage right now. As of this morning, Jennifer Granholm is still concerned about the oil getting into Lake Michigan, and quite frankly, so am I. As all of you know, the Great Lakes are the world's largest freshwater system, and if this water gets into the Lake Michigan, it's going to create a situation where it's going to get into all the lakes. It's going to find its way over to Lake Ontario, I can guarantee you it. It's going to get through the St. Lawrence Seaway and into the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, call me crazy or a fearmonger, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Now, as of this morning, Jennifer Granholm was on top of this story again, and I really applaud the fact that she's really making an effort. But the fact remains that the inadequacy of all of the containment people and the containment equipment is a problem, because here in Lake Michigan, anywhere near our shoreline, there are just hundreds and hundreds of creeks and streams and many rivers that flow into the Great Lakes. And the problem is that anywhere in Michigan, you can travel a half hour in any given direction and you'll find water. I mean, Michigan is just filled with fresh water, and it's an amazing state where we have so much water everywhere. But the problem with this is just that. You know, it went from one stream into a river, and that river has multi tributaries that again lead into Lake Michigan. Now, if you were to pull up a map of Lake Michigan and look at the shoreline around the entire state, you would see that anywhere from 10 miles inland, there are just hundreds of streams and creeks that feed into Lake Michigan. So as this river is filled with oil, it's feeding all these creeks and streams that eventually do lead into the lake. So it is a major, major problem. Now, as of this morning, Jennifer Granholm is concerned that the oil is within 80 miles of Lake Michigan. Now, I don't know if she means that's from the origination point, that it was 80 miles to Lake Michigan from the origination point, or 80 miles from where the oil is currently as it's moved from its origination point. So the article isn't very clear on that. But one thing is for sure is that she is deathly afraid of it getting into Lake Michigan, and quite frankly, so am I. Now, there's going to be several links underneath, and please follow the links. And the problem is that just like in the Gulf, there's not enough recovery equipment. There's not enough people. And it just blows my mind as to how our government can just be lax on these recoveries. Now, I've got a couple other links that I want to go into real quick. This one is out of CBC News in Canada through Windsor. And Enbridge is the company who is responsible for this. And again, Patrick Daniel is the CEO of the Calgary-based company. And again, they say the same thing that BP says. We promise we'll clean up the oil. We promise you the earth, sun, stars, and the moon. And you know it just ain't going to happen. This is very, very devastating, people. We need to get this word out. And granted, the Gulf situation isn't fully recovered yet. It's not even close to being done yet. And now we've got this one. We've also got one in China. And we also have the Japanese oil tanker that blew up. So right now there are at least 4 major oil leaks across the globe. I don't know what's going on, people, but this could have the likes of a false flag, because again, I have another link underneath, and the headline to this link is called "The Michigan Oil Spill, Could This Have Been Prevented?" And this is a 4-page article on some of the things that the company did, either purposely or, you know, on accident, as they say. But if you go through and read this, actually on page 2, this is a 4-page article. It says, in the report, the Federal Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration raised concerns in January of 2010 about Enbridge's discontinuing the use of their monitoring system for the corrosion inside Line 6B. Line 6B is the one that broke, saying that its plans for ensuring pipe safety, while a new monitoring system was bought and brought online, it didn't meet safety standards. So the new monitoring system didn't meet the safety standards that were set up by the regulatory system. So again, it makes you think, okay, well, if they knew that this system wasn't adequate, if they knew in January of 2010 that this wasn't an adequate safety monitoring system, then why did they okay it? Then why did they let them use it? Okay, the original the pipeline was built in 1969. It's heavens to God, it's what 41, 42 years old. So it makes you wonder whether or not this was a false flag or not. And it's hard to say. There's so many things going on right now, but I'm going to stay on top of this, and I'm going to have all the links underneath. This is a major disaster, and I'm just calling on the people of YouTube, and I'm calling on the people of Michigan. We really got to stay focused on this because I want you to understand Michigan has the world's largest freshwater deposit. If this water gets tainted, everybody in this nation and across this world is in grave danger. Not just here in Michigan or not just the Midwest. I'm talking everybody. Because if this fresh water is tainted, where are we going to get it from?